Partnership is helping nursing students jump into the workforce sooner to address an ongoing shortage in the medical field. Emily Roberts in the newsroom this morning after visiting UW-Oshkosh's nursing program. And Emily, break this all down for us.
Emerson, the Accelerate Wisconsin initiative is like a fast pass at an amusement park. Our state's Department of Safety and Professional Services says students who are approved and ready to test early get licensed within 3 business days of graduation. As we first told you, the numbers in the latest nurse supply and demand forecast from the Wisconsin Department of Workforce and Development are concerning. A base model predicts a gap of nearly 23,000 nurses in our state by 2040. Now, students at more than a dozen nursing colleges in Wisconsin can become a licensed nurse much more quickly than before and join a team. It's not required though, and nursing schools can set their own standards for who can test early. UW-Oshkosh's College of Nursing Dean says hospitals, clinics, and patients in our area can really benefit from Accelerate Wisconsin after the pandemic created some extra challenges.
If you didn't have the staffing or the nurses on the unit, there were times where the clients had to be turned back to other healthcare regions because you just didn't have the staff to take care of the individuals who are coming in to receive care.
Don't worry, the colleges joining in are still keeping the same rigor. Students take that same exam, they just get to take it earlier because they've already proven they're ready before graduation day. Bo?